It all began with a single backpack and a wild dream. The Himalayas stood before me, vast, untamed, mysterious. Their snow-capped peaks pierced the sky, daring me to come closer. To wander these ancient hills is to step into another world. The air is thin, the silence is thick. You can almost hear the mountains breathing. I woke early, the sun barely touching the tops of the ridges. Cold nipped at my fingers as I packed my bag. My heart thudded with excitement and, well, a flicker of fear. Hitchhiking here was a leap into the unknown. Every road was a question mark. The villages below looked like tiny specks from above. Rivers sliced through deep gorges, carving secrets into the land. I could feel the pulse of adventure in my bones. Out here, every step matters. Every decision could shape the journey. Looking back, I realized the mountains were calling me for more than just a journey. They were inviting me to let go, trust strangers, and find something deeper within myself. Standing at the side of a narrow mountain road, the vast expanse of the Himalayas stretching out before me, I felt a mix of trepidation and excitement. This was it, my first attempt at hitchhiking. I raised my thumb, a gesture of hope and vulnerability, and hoped for luck. Would someone actually stop? The thought was both thrilling and slightly terrifying. Cars and trucks rumbled by, each one kicking up a cloud of dust that momentarily obscured the stunning scenery. Drivers glanced with curiosity, their eyes meeting mine for a fleeting second before they sped past. I wondered what they were thinking. My heart pounded each time an engine slowed, the sound echoing in the otherwise quiet mountain air. Would they stop? Would they take me along the next stretch of winding road deeper into the heart of the Himalayas? The anticipation was almost unbearable. Then, finally, a battered Jeep, weathered and worn from countless journeys, pulled over. The driver, a local farmer named Sonam, grinned at me through the dust-streaked windshield, his face etched with the wisdom of the mountains. "Going up?" he asked in halting English, his eyes twinkling with amusement. I nodded eagerly, a wide smile spreading across my face, and climbed into the back of the Jeep, my backpack thumping against the metal frame. The ride was rough, to say the least. Stones clattered under the tires, sending vibrations through the entire vehicle. And every turn, sharp and precarious, threatened to tip us over the edge of the cliff. Yet, despite the discomfort and the danger, I felt incredibly alive. The wind whipped through my hair, carrying the scent of pine and snow, and honestly, the world seemed to open up before me, revealing its raw and untamed beauty. We passed tiny villages clinging precariously to the steep slopes, their colorful prayer flags fluttering in the wind. Children waved enthusiastically as we bounced by, their bright smiles a heartwarming contrast to the rugged landscape. Sonam, with a deep knowledge of the region, pointed out distant peaks, naming each one with pride and sharing stories of their significance. He shared bread and sweet milky tea from his thermos, a gesture of hospitality that transcended language barriers. He kept pressing food into my hands with a warm smile, ensuring I was well fed for the journey ahead. With every mile that passed, I felt the walls of fear and apprehension crumble, replaced by a sense of freedom and connection. When Sonam finally dropped me at the next village, a cluster of stone houses nestled in a valley, I thanked him with all my heart for his kindness and generosity. Hitchhiking, I realized, was more than just a means of travel. It was an act of trust, a testament to human kindness, and a shared journey through a land older than time, a land that whispered stories of resilience and wonder. The Himalayas are never the same from one hour to the next. Morning often brings clear skies and dazzling sun. By noon, clouds gather and shadows stretch across the valleys. At any moment, a storm can roll in, blanketing everything in mist. Each twist of the road reveals a new world. I walked through forests of whispering pines. Bright rhododendrons painted the hillsides red and pink. Far above, glaciers gleamed like swords drawn against the sky. The rivers below roared with the force of melting snow, weaving silver ribbons through the stone. Some days I crossed high passes with nothing but scree and wind for company. The silence up there is deep. Every sound, your breath, your heartbeat, the crunch of boots, feels sacred. On other days, I found myself in lush valleys where fields of barley swayed and yaks grazed by the water. The weather could turn in a heartbeat. Sun, rain, sleet, and even snow. Each brought its own challenge, but every bit of hardship was matched by beauty that took my breath away. If the mountains are wild, a raw and untamed beauty stretching as far as the eye can see, The people are warm. Their hearts are open and their smiles genuine, offering a comforting contrast to the harsh landscape. Hitchhiking here meant more than just getting from one place to another. It meant meeting strangers who became friends, sharing stories and experiences along the way. In every village, a smile greeted me, a silent invitation to share in their simple lives. Some offered rides, a welcome respite from the long, dusty roads, others a hot meal, a nourishing bowl of something delicious to warm the body and soul, or a place by the fire, a chance to thaw out and share stories with newfound companions. Their generosity was as vast as the valleys below, a boundless spirit of giving that touched my heart deeply. One evening, as night crept in, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, I found myself stranded by a lonely road, the vast silence amplifying my solitude. Just when I thought I was completely alone, a family appeared and invited me into their humble home. We shared laughs over steaming bowls of dal, the simple meal a symbol of connection and shared humanity. I listened to stories of mountain spirits, tales whispered through generations, and old legends, myths and folklore that painted a vivid picture of the region's rich history. My hands wrapped around a cup of butter tea, the warm, salty liquid a comforting embrace. Their kindness lit a fire inside me, a spark of hope and gratitude that warmed me from the inside out. I met fellow travelers too, each with their own unique story and reason for being on the road. Some were on pilgrimages, seeking spiritual enlightenment in the sacred mountains. Others on their own wild journeys, searching for adventure and self-discovery in the vast wilderness. We swapped stories, sharing our triumphs and tribulations, our hopes and fears, and shared scarce supplies, a testament to the spirit of camaraderie that thrives in challenging environments. The road brought us together, forging bonds between strangers from different corners of the world. And for a moment, we were a tribe, united by the challenge, the shared experience of navigating this rugged terrain, the wonder, the breathtaking beauty that surrounded us at every turn, and the hope of reaching the next pass, the promise of new adventures and discoveries just over the horizon. Every act of kindness was a reminder. Out here, nobody walks alone. We are all connected in this journey. Even on the toughest days, when the weather turned harsh and the path seemed impossible, help could arrive in the form of a smile, a simple gesture of encouragement that could lift your spirits, or an outstretched hand, a symbol of solidarity and support in a world where connection is everything. Not every day was easy, of course. The romantic idea of adventure often clashes with the stark reality of the road. There were moments when fear gripped me, moments when the sheer scale of the mountains and the precariousness of our path became overwhelming. Once, a storm trapped me on a high pass, a place where the air was thin and the world felt incredibly exposed. The wind howled like a beast, a furious, relentless roar that seemed determined to tear me from the mountainside, whipping snow into my eyes, blinding me, stealing my sense of direction. My feet grew numb, despite the thick socks and sturdy boots. The cold seeped in, a chilling reminder of the mountain's power. And I wondered if I'd find shelter before nightfall, if I could make it to safety before the storm completely consumed me. I pressed on, step by step, each movement a victory against the elements, a testament to stubborn will, heart pounding with each gust, a frantic drumbeat against the symphony of the storm. Another time, a truck swerved to avoid a landslide, a cascade of rocks and earth that thundered down the slope, jolting us dangerously close to the edge, the abyss yawning beside us, a dizzying drop into nothingness. I clung to the seat, breath frozen, a silent scream trapped in my throat, praying we'd make it, that the driver's skill and the truck's resilience would be enough to save us. The driver laughed, a hearty, booming sound that echoed in the cab, brushing off danger with a shrug, as if flirting with death was just another part of the job. "Normal day," he said, his eyes twinkling with amusement. And I realized courage was a part of daily life here, woven into the fabric of their existence. There were also long waits by empty roads, hours stretching into an eternity, hunger gnawing at my belly, a constant reminder of my vulnerability. Some rides took me in the wrong direction, a frustrating detour on an already challenging path, dropping me farther from my goal, testing my patience and resolve. I learned to read the sky and trust my instincts, to listen to the whispers of the wind and the warnings in the clouds. Every setback was a lesson, a harsh but valuable education, a chance to grow, to learn, to adapt, braver, facing my fears head on, wiser, understanding the rhythms of the mountains, stronger both in body and spirit. But every challenge made the triumphs sweeter, the victories more meaningful. Reaching a village after a hard day felt like victory, a haven of warmth and welcome after the trials of the road. Each hurdle crossed was another story etched into the journey, a permanent mark on my soul. The true soul of the Himalayas lies in its people. Hardy, humble, and deeply connected to this land, they welcomed me as one of their own. I met monks in crimson robes, their chants echoing through ancient monasteries. I watched shepherds guide their flocks across green meadows, eyes always turned to the mountains. Old women spun wool by the fire, weaving stories into every thread. Children played by the roadside, darting between prayer flags that fluttered like hopeful wishes. Everywhere I went, I was greeted with laughter and curiosity. Even when language failed, a smile spoke volumes. Some shared tales of hardship, of harsh winters, lost harvests, and the ever-present risk of landslides. Yet there was always hope, always joy in small things. A meal, a song, a sunrise. These were treasures. Their resilience inspired me to keep moving, to face my own fears with courage. I realized that the Himalayan spirit is not just about survival. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and never losing faith in the journey. Adventure in the Himalayas is a roller coaster of feelings. Some moments I felt unstoppable standing on a windy pass, arms outstretched, shouting into the wild. The world seemed infinite. My heart soared with joy. Every sunrise felt like a gift, every meal a feast. But there were lows too, nights alone in strange places, uncertainty twisting inside me. Sometimes exhaustion made me doubt myself. Fear of getting lost, fear of not finding the next ride, these shadows followed me. Yet it was in these dark moments that I found my greatest strength. Gratitude became my constant companion. For every helping hand, every shared smile, every safe arrival, I was thankful. The road taught me humility. It showed me that to be lost is sometimes to find a new path. Through it all, I learned that adventure is not about conquering the world, it's about opening your heart to it. The Himalayas taught me more than any book or classroom. They taught me patience. On these roads, nothing comes quickly. You learn to wait, to watch, to accept what comes with gratitude. They taught me courage, to keep moving forward even when fear whispers in your ear. I learned to trust the road, the strangers, and most of all myself. Kindness, I realized, is a language everyone understands. Every shared meal, every offered ride, every laugh across a campfire, it all added up to something beautiful. The mountains showed me the power of simplicity. Out here, you only need what you can carry. The rest is a burden. Letting go is freeing. Each day I felt lighter, clearer, more alive. I carry these lessons with me still. The journey changed me. I hope to carry its spirit wherever I go. As I share this story, my heart is full. The Himalayas gave me memories for a lifetime. They also reminded me of how important it is to connect, to help, and to share. If this journey moved you, I invite you to support my adventures and the people I meet along the way. Your encouragement helps me keep going. One mountain, one story, one shared moment at a time. If you can, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Every gesture, big or small, is a spark on this wild road. Together we can bring more stories of hope, courage, and discovery to the world. Adventure is better when shared. Thank you for walking this path with me. Until the next journey, keep your boots muddy and your spirit wild. Let's keep exploring together.